Yeah, hi, Tessa. Well, there were tears and hugs in the public gallery for the families as those verdicts were delivered here today. It happened, though, over the course of a number of days, and we're only able to report all of the verdicts now that the trial has been completed. Lucy Letby herself was there for the first verdict, and she wept after she heard that word guilty. But after that, you know, she refused to come back into court, and we haven't seen her in the dock since. Throughout the trial, of course, she maintained her innocence, but we now know that a nurse, the very person who was supposed to help keep babies alive, wanted to take life from them. It is an extraordinary story, and one you might find distressing. Carer turned killer.
Oh, Lucy, is it?
Yes.
Hello, my name's Chester, please. So can you step in 2 seconds?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
This the moment police came calling to arrest Lucy Letby. Led away in handcuffs early on a summer morning in 2018, Lucy Letby seems stunned. Who knows what was running through her mind with the realisation that her terrible crimes had finally caught up with her, the nurse who attacked the very babies she was supposed to help live. It happened inside the neonatal unit at the Countess of Chester Hospital, where premature and poorly children were at their most vulnerable. One couple whose twin sons survived Letby's attempt to kill them agreed to speak publicly, but with their privacy protected, their words revoiced by actors.
I was the first one into the unit at that time. The image that I saw was just horrendous. That image I'll never forget because it's on the brain. I saw doctors around the trolley and they're just pumping his heart like a rag doll, really. He was just like a doll, and they were just going like that, to the chest.
He was just crying, and I said, "Oh my God, what happened?" And the doctor was giving compressions. I was just praying to God, saying, "What has happened to my child?"
Questioned by police, Letby pretended she'd been surprised by what was happening on the unit.
Did you have any concerns that there was a rise in the mortality rate?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about that. What concerns did you have?
I think we'd all just noticed as a team in general, the nursing staff, that this was a rise compared to previous years.
But she knew the truth. She'd poisoned babies with insulin, injected them with air, or sabotaged their feeding tubes, and then she'd pretended to comfort their distraught parents.
All loss of life is horrible, and all loss of life is tragic and difficult to come to terms with. But when you are a tiny neonatal infant completely relying on the care of somebody else who's going to abuse that care and kill you with hatred and cold blood, then dealing with that affects us all. I'd love to know the motive. I'm sure the families, more importantly, would love to know the motive. What is that? The only time we'll get that, I think, is from Lucy Letby, if she ever chooses to tell us.
Searching her home, police found Letby's handwritten notes, including, "I killed them on purpose because I'm not good enough. I am evil. I did this." For the families, what happened here at the hospital was heartbreaking. Losing a child or seeing them fall seriously ill. Lucy Letby told the jury that for her it was devastating being accused of harming babies. She called it a sickening moment that left her feeling suicidal. This has been a long road for the parents. 7 years ago, back in July 2016, Lucy Letby was removed from the neonatal ward and put on non-clinical duties after concerns about a high number of baby deaths and collapses. The following February, the hospital launched an independent clinical review. In May that year, they contacted police and a criminal investigation began. In July 2018, Lucy Letby was arrested, questioned and released on bail. She was re-arrested in June 2019 and was bailed again, before being arrested a third time and charged in November 2020. Her trial didn't start until October of last year. At the end of it, the jury saw through Letby's story that she was a scapegoat used to cover up failings at the hospital. But why didn't the hospital see what was happening sooner? How did she get away with it for so long? The twins' parents want a public inquiry.
It's hard to put into words just how it could have gone on so long, why it went on so long. These are the answers we need.
She was very cool, calm, calculated, and a criminal-minded lady, but we didn't notice anything at the time.
She means nothing. Just an evil person. There's no way she should have been able to get away with it for so long.
Giving evidence, Lucy Letby insisted she was innocent and said, "I was there to help, not to harm." It was one final act of deception. Peter Lane, 5 News.